Okay, you guys, so I decided I wanted to put some more things in my penguin drawing, and I also still want to have my little penguin sitting by, but I also wanted to show you some other stuff that I saw that I was kind of inspired by to do some winter scenery type artwork. So I saw these snowflakes on this wrapping paper, and I thought that is really cool. So I bought some of the wrapping paper, and I'm just going to draw some of the snowflakes that are on it, because they look very easy to draw, and I think you can probably do that. I'm going to use a blue Crayola marker and draw some snowflakes. The thing that all of these snowflakes have in common is that they start with a plus sign and a multiplication sign, and they come together in the middle. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one down here on the ground first. I'm just going to put a plus sign. Doesn't even matter if it's a little curved. And then over the top of that, meeting in the middle, I'm going to make a multiplication sign, just like that. Okay, now a lot of them have little circles on the end of the snowflakes, so I'm going to do that. And then there's some other shapes that happen too, but I'll just start with circles on the end of these, just for fun. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave that one there for now. I might add more to it later, but I think I'm going to just stop right there with that one. There's also one that, let's do another plus sign up here. I'm just randomly picking spots on my paper to show different snowflakes. This time I'm going to make my multiplication symbol a little smaller than my addition symbol. Okay, and then I'm going to put another one up here, and this time my plus sign is going to be smaller, and my multiplication sign is going to be the longer one of the two. Now some of them come out farther and go in farther like that. So right away, these look different shaped than each other, right? So that's play with size differentials and make a few just tiny ones that are a plus and a multiplication sign just here and there. And those are the little ones. Maybe they might have dots on the end or no dots on the end. And I think it's fine either way. This one I made my dots not even really touching the rest of the snowflake, and that looks pretty cute too. So, let's see, let's go with this one because I made it first. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a little heart shape on each one of them, like one, just my plus ones, because I don't know if I could fit one little heart like that on each one of my symbols. So I'm just going to use the straight ones, this up and down one here. I'm just focusing on the plus sign for these little hearts. And there's a snowflake on the wrapping paper that looks just like this, only it's bigger, and it has the little heart shapes all on every one of them, but I'm not going to do that with this. I'm using a marker for one thing, and it's the tip of it is kind of big, so you could use a pencil or any other kind of writing utensil that has a smaller tip than a marker, a colored pencil or a number 2 pencil, or you could just make them really big on some colored paper, and I think that would also work. What I'm doing with the multiplication portion of it is I'm just putting little arrows, and I think it needs something more, so I'm going to go on the left side of each of my lines and just put a little dot, and that looks cute, like a little dot on there. Oh my gosh, my penguin's getting some smudges on me. Okay, another thing to do is if you focus on curved lines a lot, like the little heart was curved, I'm going to go with something angular this time. So I'm going to use the multiplication sign that's bigger, and I'm going to make a little diamond shape, just half of a diamond shape on the left of each of one of those, kind of like looking around the face of a clock. Then I kind of reminds me of a pinwheel, so I'm going to go ahead and put another line like that on here. You can go with any shape you like, and it's going to still look pretty cool. So I'm going to do diamond shapes at the end of the plus sign. I'm going to make little diamond shapes on those, just to make it different. And I like that. I think that's cool. So realistically, I can put like 5 or 6 other different kinds of snowflakes here. But in the interest of saving a little time, let's just do one of these really big, really decorative ones. I don't know if you can, hopefully this isn't glaring too terribly on, I'm looking at this one right here and I think it's really cool. So I'm gonna do one just like that right over here next to my penguin, and it's gonna be really, really big. You'll notice that when you're drawing, things that are bigger look like they're closer to you and things that are smaller look like they're farther away. That is a little perspective trick that your eyes play on you. So I'm going to put this over here under my book so that I can see it better. And I'm just going to look at it while I work. And I hope that doesn't, oh yeah, I can't even see that. So I'm going to start again with a really big plus sign. I'm going to make it big so I have room for all the stuff that's going on with that really decorative snowflake. Okay, so I'm going to scooch us over a little bit so you can really see that really well. Okay, that's better. Then I'm going to do my multiplication sign too, and I'm going to make it just as big as my plus sign so that I have plenty of space to make all those little decorative baubles around it. It's got some long curved lines in between each section. So I've got all these little sections around here. You could talk about fractions on that, or it looks like kind of like a pie chart without the outside edge. But I'm going to go ahead and put a long, looks like a petal, almost like a petal of a flower. I'm gonna, don't be afraid to turn your page around too, because you've got a specific point where your hand is comfortable. And oops, I bumped my camera. And then it's gonna be easier to make those big loops if you turn it where your hand is a little more comfortable. It's gonna be a little easier for you. And I'm all about making it easier. Or just nicer, you know. So then I've got these loops that come out like this. There's 2 on each little branch of my snowflake. So I'm going to do that on each one of these around here. And then at the end is a circle. There are circles at the end of every one of those. Since I have so much space, I could go ahead and make more shapes or lines around it. But for now, I'm just going to do what's there in the actual picture on the wrapping paper so that it just turns out pretty good. Because I know I like that one, so if I don't, you can take some scrap paper, and I always keep this little book over here where I drew my penguin the other day. I always keep this little book around because I can try stuff out on this paper, and then I know how it will look in my book. And then I can come back to it later if I like it, or I can just disregard if I don't like it at all. I can just leave it in the little book and not put it in the big book, right? So whether you're using newspaper or printer paper or a brown paper bag, any kind of surface that you're using, this should look pretty good. I think it would look cool if I got a brown paper bag and used chalk, like all different colors of chalk. That would be fun. Sounds like a good idea. I might try that later. You could even do this on the sidewalk if it's warm enough outside, or just bundle up and do it on the sidewalk just to get outside for some fresh air. So I'm finishing up, and I feel like I should go back down there and do that guy too, so I think I will. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Those little curved lines. Right? That's pretty. I like that. And yours is going to look different from mine. Even if you back this video up and try again and again, it's going to look different because you have different hands, you have different skills and different things than I do, and yours might look better than mine because I don't know, it just might look better than mine. I might go in later and add some more things because I feel like the difference between these loops and this line is really long. So I feel like I could go and add more to it later, but for now I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go back to this one down here and think about maybe how to make this a little bit more interesting. I can come in and make a zigzag like that in between each one. I'm just making it point outward. So this one's going to point outward from the middle in between my two lines. So it's starting to look like a star, and I really like that. So I'm glad I tried that. It's making it quite a bit more interesting. And it's in front of the ground where the snow is, right? So it's going to make it look more like, it's going to make your mind think about snow more. So it's going to look even more snowy. Hopefully you can't see all my pink smudges I got from my side of my hand when I was drawing my penguin, but that's okay if you can. Really it is. I promise it's okay. I could even go back and do some red and green snowflakes if I want to make it super wild and crazy, but I don't think I'm going to do that now. But those are my snowflakes, and I just want you guys to go ahead and try your own. Make as many as you want. Try some curved lines and maybe some little ones and big ones and medium ones, and just go all over your page. Try some crayons instead too, maybe a gray crayon, and I think gray and blue might look cool together. You try and see what you think, and make as many as you want, okay? And I will see you next time. Bye bye.